My name is Sudesh Kaka, and I help innovation enthusiasts create clarity through processes, principles, and practices. Okay, that's what I do. And today I want to talk to you about the progression of an innovator's career. Okay, so when you look at all these guys that have the guys that we love to emulate, talk about Elon Musk, talk about Apple, Steve Jobs, talk about the guys at Google. What is that? How do they progress how do they progress through their careers? How do they get to the places where they get? One thing I want you to realize is that actually they go through crisis after crisis, but that's not what I'm here to discuss. So their careers go through 5 stages, and you can identify yourself through these ones. The first one is learning. You know, they learn a lot. They learn a lot. When you see the companies talk about Uber, Airbnb, when they we got to know about Airbnb after about 5-6 years, but all through that they were learning and course correcting and doing the things. So if you are at a job and you want to be the ultimate best, you're going to have to go through the learning process. You know, if you are creating a company, still that's the same thing that you have to go through. Then they go through, innovators go through the editing process after you learn. So you're learning a lot, but you go through the editing process. You know, if you're at a job, you've worked in different departments, and now you're asking yourself, okay, what am I good at? Am I good at customer care? Am I good at accounts? Am I good at this? Am I good at that? For me personally, it was when I was learning, I really did everything. I went to production. I was at Leather Industries Uganda. I did production. I went into accounting. I did some HR. So really, that environment helped me to test out different things and see what I'm really good at. And I went to marketing and sales. So for me, it was a progression, and it came to editing. And number one, you have to ask yourself 3 questions when you're editing, and at the point of your career, you have to ask yourself, what is required of me? Why am I here? You know, if you're a company, what is required of you is different from when you're an individual. What is required of you? What should you deliver? You know, they could be KPIs. Look at them. And then the second question that you want to ask yourself is, what is right? And in that I mean, not all truth is true. Yeah, yes, I know that's heavy. Not all truth is true. For example, it is true that all leaders are readers and all readers are leaders, but it's truth actually that all leaders are readers and all readers are leaders. But it's not true that you're going to read everything about anything and then you become a leader. No, you have to be focused on what you're reading. You know, so if you want to become a leader at supply chain, read about supply chain. If you want to become a leader at customer care, read about customer care. If you want to become a leader at leadership, read about leadership. So, what is true in your sense? Okay? Remember, we are at the editing stage. And then the third thing that you want to follow through when you're editing is what gives you the highest returns. Okay, because you don't want to starve. What gives you the highest returns? You need to make some money. So look at the things that you're good at, because some people say, wow, I'm so good at so many things. No, question is, what gives you the highest returns? Do that, and then you make the progression. So you go through the learning, you go through the editing, and then you go through the mastery. Mastery is when you do something so well that people seek out for you. You know, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hour rule, where you do something, whether it's playing tennis or Tiger Woods on the golf course. These guys go through a lot of time to get to where they want to get. So it's that you have to put in the work. Remember, perfect practice makes perfect. You have to practice that something that you want to do. So you just get at that sweet spot and just keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. So now you've gone through the learning, you've gone through the editing, and you've become a master. And then now you start harvesting. That is my favorite part. You start harvesting, and this is a time where if you are at a job, you're headhunted. They just seek out for you and you determine what your salary is. Or if you're an innovator like me, you start a company and then at this point you're having so many streams of income because you're deploying different models working for you. So you're having a stream of income coming from this one, from this one, from this one. And that is the harvesting period that you're going through at that point. And then after that, you go through the guiding parts. Guiding is when you we talk about initiation, the mentorship, the coaching, and then the delegation. Now, I don't have time to go through all that, but what I want you to know is that career progression for every innovator or for everyone that wants to get ahead in life has 5 steps. Number 1, learning. Number 2, editing. And number 3, mastery. And number 4, you go through the harvesting period. And number 5, guiding. So I want you to ask yourself, what stage am I at? And what do I need to do to go to the next stage? And the last but not least question, how can I fast track myself through these processes so that I get ahead, I become the best I can be? This is Sudesh saying, adios muchachos.